Committee, he is that in accordance with Standing Order 85, the Honorable Alban Sumane Bagbin, I have his consent to the nomination duly signed. I beg to move that the Honorable Bagbin do take the chair of this House as Speaker. I beg to move. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Any seconder?
Chair, with respect.
Honorable Afenyoma.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, you had in your preliminary remarks referred to some communication, the basis upon which we are here. You referred to a communication from the Electoral Commission. I am aware that the jurisdiction of a high court in this country has been invoked in respect of a constitutional provision under Article 94(1). Mr. Chair, as a matter of on a point of order, where is it taking us to? Mr. Chair, this is alien. This is alien. It's alien. It is alien. Order. Mr. Chair, as a matter of preliminary,
I need to at least hear the member.
Mr. Chair, as a matter of preliminary inquiry from my side, I would want to find out from you whether you are on notice of a proceeding or an order from the High Court in respect of an application by Michael Akuma Nna.
Listen,
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chair.
Wait, Honorable. At the appropriate time.
Mr. Chair, what I am saying, if my colleagues would indulge me, if they listen to me, whatever they have, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chair, I believe that the rule of this House enjoins us to listen to a member in silence. Mr. Chair, if I make my submission, yes, and they have any view contrary to the preliminary objection and preliminary inquiry I am making, they would be able to make a proper input. That is a rule. It's not a shouting. So, Mr. Chair, all I want to inquire from you is that you have indicated that you have received communication from the Electoral Commission. I am aware of the process that has been launched. I am aware of a process.
I would indulge. I just wanted to listen to what he's saying.
Mr. Chair, my preliminary inquiry,
yes,
must be addressed. Thereafter, the proceedings can continue. All I am saying is that you have given an indication that you've received a communication, which communication has resulted in even the program outline of the inauguration of the 8th Parliament. I want to find out from you, Mr. Chair, whether or not you have received a court order in respect of a plaint by Michael Ankuma Nina, which order makes reference to any person on the list as you provided.
All right.
Specifically.
Okay, sit down.
So, Mr. Chair, I believe that a clear.
So, Honorable.
Mr. Chair, I believe that a response for the sake.
Wait, maybe I should let
For the sake of the record, is
order.
I believe that a response from this house, a response from you is important because, Mr. Chair, if a public process is set on you, it is important that we are put on notice as to whether or not indeed you have been said, and if you've been said, what steps are you taking in respect of that?
I've heard it.
Mr. Chair, I rest my case.
Yes, Honorable Muntaka.
Mr. Clerk Chairman. Mr. Clerk Chairman, I'm surprised that you kept me standing because point of order is part of the rules of this House. And I was surprised you kept me standing. Mr. Clerk Chairman, I want to refer my colleague to the Constitution, 95. Specifically Article 95(3). And your permission, I read, no business shall be transacted in Parliament other than an election to the office of Speaker at any time when the office of Speaker is vacant. Yes. And Mr. Clerk, the open nomination. And Mr. Clerk, Mr. Chairman, Clerk, I was surprised that you kicked the motion in compliance with this constitutional provision, as you yourself rightly quoted. And you allowed another member to be deviating from what is before us when it has been moved. And you know that when a motion is moved, that is what is before the House. And the only thing that could be done is to second. And if someone has a counter, then that counts.
I said they should.
So, Mr. Clerk Chairman, in order not to continue wasting the time of this House and members, I rise to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Haruna Iddrisu.
Honorable Osechi Mensah Bonsu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think the issue raised by Mr. Chairman, the issue raised by the member for Efutu is very germane. You have indicated to us that you have received a writ of elections for constituencies from the Electoral Commission. Mr. Chairman, what you did not inform us about is, first, the number of constituencies. It doesn't Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman.
And then you have to put it.
Mr. Chairman, and then the persons who have been duly elected as members of Parliament. Mr. Chairman, beyond that, Mr. Chairman, this is not, Mr. Chairman, order. Mr. Chairman, respectfully, this House applies itself to the orders of this House. We are not in the streets. Mr. Chairman.
Order.
Mr. Chair, the people who will qualify to participate in this voting should be a matter of interest to all of us. It is the reason why, in making the announcement, you related to the fact that you have the relevant correct number to transact business. Mr. Chairman, my colleague, who is the deputy leader, caucus, raised a preliminary issue. First, we want to know the eligibility. Of persons herein assembled.
Order.
Mr. Chairman, the honest inquiry from the honourable member, he wants to know the eligibility and qualification of the members of Parliament elect who will qualify to participate in voting. Mr. Chairman, it is the reason why before the motion was moved by my colleague, the honourable member for Tamale South, who is until recently the minority leader, right? And now struggling to find space for himself, he made an earnest inquiry. Who qualifies to participate in the voting? And he says to you that he's aware that court processes have been served, injuncting. We have gone to court, somebody has gone to court, injuncting one person. And it's not about shouting, it's about applying yourself to due process. It's about applying yourself to due process. Mr. Chairman, this House has been served with due process, injuncting one person from participating in the business. Mr. Chairman, we are aware that the process has been set on the House, and it's been said duly on the clerk of Parliament. We want to know, as a matter of preliminary observation and statement and admission from you, whether it is true. If it is true, it will mean that person cannot participate in the voting, and it would not lie in the mouth of people shouting no. It will lie in the bosom of due process, and we have our laws. We apply ourselves to the laws, and if anybody wants to be physical about that, The marshals are here. They apply the rule to the letter. So, Mr. Chairman, your duty is to tell us whether indeed due process has been served on this house in granting a member of parliament elect from participating in the activities of today. Because the speaker, and just so, the member was not out of order, he was not debating, he raised a plenary issue. He first got up, unfortunately he did not catch your eye, and you allowed my colleague, the Honorable Haruna Iddrisu, to move the motion. It is still not late. And it's the reason why before our orders provide that when a motion has been moved, it must be seconded. If it is not seconded, it is not properly before this house. And it is so, it is because of that he rose up boldly. This time he recognized him when the motion was not properly before this house, and he raises a point. I just want to reiterate the point that he made for you to tell this house the position of the law. Chairman, I rest my case.
Mr. Speaker, Chairman Clerk, this is a country governed by law, and this is a country with institutions given defined mandates and authorities. Mr. Speaker, I've heard the Honorable Afenyo Markins make reference to court proceedings. Let me remind him that courts don't determine elected members of parliament. The total will of the people of Ghana vote. Courts don't determine, courts don't determine, courts don't vote. Courts don't determine. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Speaker, maybe they chose not to listen to my preface. I said institutions have their mandate and authority. The court have a mandate to adjudicate on matters brought before it. But the election of member of parliament is vested in Ghanaian citizens. We are aware that James Jache Kwesen of Asim North was duly elected and Mr. Speaker, as far as we know, no court processes have been served on him personally, as far as we know. That is why he is here, having registered and having been recognized, even by the list of 275 MPs. And the official letter gazetted and remitted to the clerk does include Honorable James Jache Kwesen. He is a law-abiding person. He will fight the merits of any matter in court, but he should not be denied subscribing to his oath as elected member of parliament in the name of some court processes. Mr. Speaker, by Article 117 of the Constitution, civil or criminal process coming from any court or place out of parliament shall not be served on or executed in relation to the Speaker or a member or the Clerk to Parliament. Yes. Yes.
Leader, it's not a member. There's no to elect a Speaker.
He is not a member of Parliament yet, but he is here to elect a Speaker by the provisions of the Constitution. The same Constitution in Article 95. So, Mr. Clerk Chairman, no court processes have been served on him. And he went through your registration process, having been notified by the official gazette published by the Electoral Commission of Ghana that he was a duly elected member of Parliament for Asin North. This is what is best known to us. I heard my colleagues say majority. By the official letter conveyed to you by the Electoral Commission, read it for his purposes. It's 137, and therefore there is no political party with a majority. He is counting on the independent candidate. He has not even taken the oath yet for us to know where he wants to belong. If there is any official correspondence on him, share it with us. There is no official communication from him as far as we are concerned by the EC Gazette notification. So get me right. I'm saying that in this country, the legislature is clothed with the mandate of legislation. The judiciary as arbiter and adjudicator. They don't elect. The election of member of parliament is vested in citizens of Ghana. When you are dissatisfied with the outcome of a resource, you go to the arbiter, the court, to seek justice. That is why we are in court, even with the outcome of the presidential election, because we are questioning the legitimacy of the outcome of an electoral commission chairperson who corrects herself 6 times within a day. So, Mr. Speaker, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? And in a country, the predictability of the judiciary is important for the future of our democracy. We have followed religiously the ruling in Hohoi, the ruling in Techima South, and the ruling in Asin North. Ghana will not be a one-man democracy where only the rights of one person and freedoms are respected. I rest my case.
Mr. Chairman, we have made an application to you for determination. Mr. Chairman, is it not paradoxical that my colleague, the Honorable Haruna Iddrisu, is saying that the determination of the outcome of the election is not by the courts, and yet ends up by saying that that is why they are in court looking for redress? That certainly can be worked. It can be worked and contorted, reason, but we will forgive him for that. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, Article 116, clause 1, which he quoted, says, no civil or criminal proceeding shall be instituted